Welcome. We're working on the next signature for our album, and I've pretty much have it laid out. We're going to create a different cut than I normally do, and I will hopefully try to go slow enough for you so that you can make the same ones. So starting with the base page at 8 3/4 in the height by 7 3/8 in your width. We're gonna do now this signature has a lot of this gold beige look, so we're gonna shake it up a little bit with adding in some blue out of our scraps. So I am going to do a side pocket over here, and then in the cut aparts I cut out this tag, "The Party is Calling," and we're going to just kind of offset it in here just a little bit to create a different look other than just straight up and down. And I don't think I put tape on any of these, so I need to do so. So this sheet, I need to get back to this because this is really critical. This particular sheet is out of the 22 pack, and it is just a page full of gold and tan swirls. Then you have, let me finish this, because once I get going, I don't want to be tossing things around here, and I have a tendency to lose stuff right here in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to get this installed. And I'm going to put it on the left side. You can put it on either side if you have a different preference. Now I'm going to glue my blue piece on that I got out of scraps. And then I'm going to glue this on kind of at a slanted angle, just to give it some texture. There we go. All right, now let's get to these main pieces. You're going to have 2 sheets of this paper. One is out of the 22 pack, and the other one is out of the main core pack. The one that we're going to be using for the front of this album, which is going to be important, is the one that is out of the 22 maxi pack. Okay? Turning this over, this is where we're getting into a lot of this beige and gold. So what I'm doing to kind of break that up a little bit is, again, we're going to have a kind of a small, slender pocket over here. I'm going to use some of the ephemera gems just to create a little bit of an eye catch over here. I'm going to turn this over real quick. On the front of this, I've created a pocket, and we're going to use one of the very large ephemera stars, and we're going to put it right here. So this side is simple enough. But this side, your right side, is going to have some different angles and some different cuts. So when you put these two pieces together, this is the right side of the page to this. And so I cut this to fit. I wanted that image intact. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I really like both of these and I don't want to cut through them. So I did an angle cut. So I cut the angle right above the moon and went straight up. So that cut was fairly simple, and I'll get back to that. This cut, however, was a little bit more involved. So when I cut the gold piece that goes underneath of it, your longest side here is going to be 7 3/4 of an inch. That's your longest side. And then you're going to come in 1 3/4. You're going to make a cut. And then you're going to cut this angle here all the way down is going to be 6 1/4 inches. And then this line here, I forgot to give you the measurement for that, is going to be 4 3/4 inches. And then the total overall width is going to be 7 inches. So let me go over this again. Your overall width, which is what you should start with, overall width will be 7 inches. Your overall height will be 7 3/4 inches. On this side, you're going to come up and you're going to make a tick mark here right at 4 3/4. Then you're going to add an angle. You're going to come up 6 1/4 inches and make a tick mark, and you're going to cut between these two, and then this will be 1 3/4 inches. So when you cut this, you're going to line it up and you're going to cut to fit. So you're going to be about 1/16 of an inch difference all the way around, and that's the image you're going to have. And then I'm using one of the little statement sayings, sparkly nights, on this side. Now when you turn this over, you're using the reverse side, and I got myself kind of turned around a little bit so that it doesn't happen to you, because you're just simply going to make this cut here. When you cut, this is where I made my mistake. So slow down, let me think this through here so I can explain to you what it was I did. On both sheets where this image exists, you're going to do your measure and you're going to cut straight up, because if you cut it off at the top, you're going to end up doing what I had to do, which was a mistake when I did my trimmings, is that I didn't have enough of the 12 inches to work with because I cut a whole bunch of it off the top. So when you go to set this piece in, you're going to cut to fit, which will leave you about 1/16 of an inch all the way around, but you're going to cut straight up. Then when you cut this next piece, which will have the moon on the bottom, again, you're going to come in here and you're going to cut to fit about 1/16 of an inch all the way around, and you're going to cut straight up again, straight up. Don't be cutting off the top, because then you'll have to do what I did, because that piece intact will be what you need to cut for the inside of both these panels. So what happened to me was, and it ultimately didn't matter, that these two pieces, when I had to cut them for this side, this is actually upside down because I didn't pay attention and trim it out this way. So make sure you've got it right side up. And then this piece is going to be cut to fit in here. And then this piece is going to be cut to fit in here. And then on the reverse side, you will have the images from the cut you made off of the 22 pack. And then you're going to come in here and you're going to score it at 1/2, and then you're going to score it at 5/8. This piece will go on the bottom, like so. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to score this at 1/2, and you're going to score it at 5/8. And this piece is what is going to come in here on the top. Now, in your scraps, you have a piece of this left over. I cut this out, mounted it, and I'm going to place it right here. So there's a little bit of elevation change on that. And there's some stuff on the inside. We'll get to it when we get there. So I hope I haven't confused you, because you have 2 sheets of this. One out of the 22 pack and then one out of your core pack. And it's the 22 pack piece that we are going to cut at the angle. All right. See, that's out of the 22 pack. That's going to be cut at the angle. Okay, so let's try and put this together. I need to put some tape on this. And then I'll give you the measurements for this top piece. But I want to get this on first. This is your left side. The left side measures in at 6.5 inches across by 8 3/4 in your height. I have a little extra here at the top that is not going to work for me, so I'm going to just cut it off. There we go. Push back on this so I can reinforce that score mark. Okay, so now let's go back to our gold pieces. This is the top piece. It is going to measure at 7 inches across. And then your length, this length, which I forgot to measure, is also going to come in at 7 1/4 inches. And you're going to score it at 1/2, and you're going to score it at 5/8. And then you're going to come down this at 3 1/4 inches, this length, make your tick mark, and then from here, you're going to angle cut at 7 1/2 inches to this corner. So you'll have a little bit of a diagonal cut here, no biggie, but that's what you're going to have. So let's go over it again. Your primary measurement is 7 inches across. Your secondary measurement is going to be 7 1/4 inches in the length, scoring at a 1/2 inch, scoring it at 5/8. Then on this side, you're going to trim down 3 1/4 inches. From that corner all the way down to this corner, you're going to be at 7 1/2 inches.